welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between our visitors and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading the charge will be their quarterback, always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass. So he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. A look at the numbers from Penny last week. 19 carries, 71 yards.
They've won 2 straight games and have done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy set the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front, as we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
What's the ball?
On 2nd and 9, Watson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 26.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. Penny, a first down carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. We'll look now at our starting defense. They come into this one down at the 27th position in the league, Charles, against the run.
And stopping the run, That's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Watson. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field. All right, this is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out. Here's Watson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to...
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And this offensive line, they're going to have to be a lot better than they were right there. We certainly won't measure them just by one play. But they definitely got a big challenge ahead of them in this one, because this defense, they love to run blitz, and they clog up the running lanes.
Here's Jones. Back to the air on second down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. A run through the starters defensively for the Texans. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Jones from the gun, he'll throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
On the ready. 59, check, 59. Drop these. Recon, 132 fighter. Fight.
On second down now, it's Jacobs. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Now Jones. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's the Raiders punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
I'm impressed, aren't
I
you?
am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd and a yard, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Rashad Penny. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Throwing on 2nd down, Watson. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
2nd down and goal. Watson. And it'll be intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
On 1st and 10, Jones. His throw incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Receiving team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. To throw is Watson. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run with Penny. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
5%. 19. 94. Good stop, baby. That's a big stop.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early.
And touchdown! Josh Jacobs, 76 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken near the 13. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. An NFL update, 2nd quarter now in Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Jones. And this is incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Jones now, throwing again. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Back to throw. Jones fighting through, and he's got space.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just as a team, but as individuals. He's got to stretch a little bit to get there. That might be what they're talking about during the practice sessions, in their meetings. Hey, we can still get this done. Let's go ahead and feed him the ball.
And the offensive line, I'm sure they're well aware of where he stands as well.
They are, and I think for them, it would be an even better accomplishment to get there now, because it seems like a little bit of a reach.
Buying time to his left. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the 1st.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On the draw, this is Penny. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. Now a carry for Jacobs. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville. And it's the Titans with the lead in the second quarter of play. Big Derrick Henry with a couple of touchdown runs. Next, we head north to Philly to check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington Redskins. Carson Wentz, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Robert Woods, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, each team able to manage just 1 touchdown apiece. 7-7 is our score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He's got Smith here. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Las Vegas sending out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Taken in at the 22. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. All right, gearing up for another drive here. Austin Hooper trots back out. And some of his highlights here from this game, he's nearing 100 yards, partner.
And defenses have worked so hard at how to try to slow down tight ends. It was a lot easier, partner, in the old days because they just lined up on the line of scrimmage, either put a defensive end or a linebacker over and tried to body them so they couldn't get off the line of scrimmage easy.
And now?
Now, when they split out, detach from the line of scrimmage, you put a linebacker out there, they're often too elusive for them, shake them and get to the secondary too easily before someone else can try and pick them up.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the run, it's Penny. And some room to run now. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. The contact on that run came pretty early. Nice job just to push forward and get some extra yardage. Good game.
It certainly was because the initial contact did not signal the end of the play. His mind, his body, his legs said keep turning forward, and he gained more yardage.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. He's got Fuller. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now it's Watson. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. That'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Jim,
On 3rd down, Penny. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Samson Ebukam, he brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. This is Penny. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let him down.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Clelin Ferrell able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And now here come the Raiders. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7, past the 30 to the 32.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. 55, 55. 55.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now Jones on 1st and 10. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the 1st tackle. Luckily enough, there are more people there to get him down.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Here's Jones on 1st down. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Jacobs now. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Here we go.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jones operating from the gun. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now out comes Houston. Now, listen, it's a team game. We know that. But where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? So they take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again. But on offense, they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. And you just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up.
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
52's the mark.
From the gun, here's Watson. Wide open receiver complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now a throw out to his fullback is complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
On second down, here's Penny. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And a catch made by Hopkins. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Now it's Penny. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. And they'll run it again with Penny. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Badgley's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So now London down on the scoreboard. Just over a minute 40 to play. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go. 30 base. Blue draw portrait.
They'll look to throw. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And all the way in for the touchdown. Darren Waller with touchdown number 7 on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time.
The ball comes out, and the Raiders pick it up. And he's got room. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get into overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who can help us, because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.